so good to see Lumpy back in the main group. I love it. This is why it's such a happy day. And what's Brutus gonna do? You gonna be a jerk or you gonna be cool? Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hanging out here, beautiful day. Made even more beautiful by today's topic, what we're gonna be doing here. Great news, good old Lumps is feeling great. He's graduated. He used to walk in and out of the warehouse here and munch on that grass. Well, in the last week, he's been getting more and more active, which is fantastic. He's been traveling all through this great little land of mine, and he started to make a new home right here. Check him out. He's just catching some early morning rays. Well, it's not too early morning, but it's still morning nonetheless. But look at this guy. He's doing good. Lumpy is all spread out, and he's been moving over to this area a lot lately, and I think it's time we get Lumps back in with the herd. He was the main dude in the herd, and Brutus has been in there now, so I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of some battling, but I want to be on hand to kind of be there for him, because Lumpy went through a lot the last few months. Hey, buddy. Anyway, you could see why I kind of want to get him out. He's been starting to dig. And I really don't want him, look at this one, wow. I don't want him to undermine the foundation of the Galapagos and Aldabra tortoises shed. Let's do that over. Anyway, I don't want him to undermine the foundation of the wall here for the Galapagos tortoises, Darwin, Socrates, and the Aldabra Nostradamus. So what we're going to do, people, is we are going to take that Rubbermaid, bring it over here, scoop him up, whoop-de-doo, and take him on a little trip back to the Sulcata tortoise enclosure. Along the way, we're going to have such an adventure. I don't know if that's true, but we are going to get him back. I'm a little slappy today, but it'll be cool. So let's go ahead and get the tripod set up so you guys can watch this all unfold. One camera today, not using the head cam, but let's see what we got. Here we go. All right, boom. There's Lumpy. And this is going to be me, people. This is why it's very important to stay in good shape when you're raising Sulcata tortoises, because these guys will test your resolve. And Lumpy certainly has gained weight. Come on, bud. He'll kind of walk himself in, and then you just scoop him up and plop him on in. And that, my friends, is how you get your Sulcata tortoise in the Rubbermaid cart. Whew! That's warm. Sure is warm. Sure is hot inside of these rhinos. Name that movie, old people. Anyway, we're walking, and as we are walking, we're talking about radiated tortoises. Love these guys. They're a little bit more manageable. They're easy to pick up, which I like. And they're enjoying this beautiful habitat we have for them right there. Good old friends at Aquascape, making the camp look amazing. And like I said, it's not such a long walk to the Sulcata habitat, because there it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out these planks and we're going to wheel him in. And looks like Brutus is just inside this tortoise house. There's the girls sunbathing right there. Hello, ladies. Hello, lady. I'm full of all kinds of things going on today, from old school TV and movie. Watch your feet, of course, when you're wearing sandals. Very important not to get yourself jacked up with the planks. Now, I'm sure there's an easier way to do things, but me not being the greatest of carpenters, I just put these planks up and they work fantastic. So this is how I do it, people. Okay, we're gonna put this man back in with his ladies just in time for breeding season. Or rather, it's going to be egg laying season soon, so breeding season's kind of over. And this is how I unceremoniously do this. Gently, gently, ease them down, ease them down. There you go, right down. That's the tortoise extraction device. So there he is, and what I'll do is I'll pull this back and we'll get into the nitty gritty of this reintroduction of Lumpy in with the other tortoises. Let's see what they're up to and if they, in fact, start chasing him around. But oh, it's so good to see Lumpy back in the main group. I love it. This is why it's such a happy day. I really thought I was gonna lose Lumpy. And I've had Lumpy a long time. You guys know, if you watch the channel, how much I enjoy this tortoise. He's been with me since I moved to Florida in 2004. Drove with my parents all the way down from Long Island. And they did me a solid by picking him up from a close friend of mine, her father's house. And I'm so glad this guy's still alive. I want to thank Sam Pascucci and Dr. Mike Dillum from Palm Beach Animal Clinic. And PGA Animal Clinic, my bad. But the only thing I got to worry about now is, since he's been reintroduced, I'm wondering if Brutus, who's over here, forgot who he is. And what's Brutus going to do? You going to be a jerk, or are you going to be cool? There'll probably be some combat, but it is what it is. That's why I'm going to be on hand. Now here, of course, are the gals. Looking good. This is my biggest female. A lot of you have been complaining that I don't have names for the female tortoises. I have a lot more female tortoises than males, and you're right. I think that's misogynistic of me and horrible, so we're going to name them right now. That's Marcy, right there. Hi, Marcy. Yeah, this is Ethel. There she is. Hi, Ethel. Love you. I just love Ethel. Oh, God, she's great. Over here is Maureen. Hi, Maureen. There you go. And, oh, I don't know. Over there is Bertha. She's somewhere out there. And, you know, Rapunzel's here, too. So the tortoises, the females do have names. But there's Lumps hanging out. And these guys have been doing very well out here. We're going to start coming into our cooler season. So that's good. Usually in the dry season is when things get cooler here in Florida. And right now, not a lot of action, which is good. I'm glad for that. Lumps, come on, walk around, buddy. So if you guys are just finding this video, Lumpy is a sulcata tortoise. These guys are native to the Sahel region of Africa, which is a belt of dry land, dry area that ranges all the way from the east of Africa along the southern fringe of the Sahara Desert into the west of Africa. Pretty much it's a belt, and it does experience monsoonal rain, so there's some wet and dry there, but mostly it's a very arid habitat, as you can imagine, being on the southern fringe of the Sahara Desert. So it's sparsely vegetated, and these animals are just incredible survivors. In extreme conditions, these tortoises can go for a year without drinking. That being said, they can get dehydrated, and that's what happened to Lumpy. He became dehydrated, and his system slowed down. He wasn't digesting, he wasn't urinating, he was retaining that moisture in the form of urine, and it's a survival trait. But if it goes on too long, the uric acid will build up in his body and cause renal failure. And he was close to actually dying of kidney failure. Once we got the feeding tube in him, I was able to administer liquids and nutrition and kickstart his system. And it was touch and go, guys. I didn't realize how close to death he really was, because he wasn't able to walk, he wasn't moving, and he certainly wasn't eating on his own. But with the help of my veterinarian, Dr. Dillum, we inserted this feeding tube, and religiously every morning and every evening I would pump him through with liquids and food. And it's a lot. It's a big dosage for a tortoise that weighs 130 pounds. But after about a month of doing that, I started to notice some life come back into his eyes. Look, there's one of your gals, buddy. Life was coming back into his eyes. He started to move around more. What really got me hopeful was he started defecating. I saw urine again. So that means that his body had enough liquid in it, had enough hydration in it to start releasing liquid again. Like I said, if they don't have enough moisture in the environment, they'll retain their urine and recycle it through their body to keep their cells hydrated. They filter out the uric acid and just keep the water. It's a survival tract, but as I mentioned, they can build up those uric acids in the form of a solid crystal and a powder that could really do damage if it's not expelled. So he started expelling it again, started defecating, and man, it was so awesome. I've never been more excited to see tortoise poop in my entire life. And then the real bit of of joy was when I started to see him grazing on grass. I started offering watermelon to get more liquid into him, and finally he pulled his own feeding tube out, which is interesting because it goes in through the neck. So he was able to pull that out and the wound just closed up. I mean, they are tough tortoises. So it closed up and he's been great for over a month now. So I'm really, really excited to be putting him back in here with these guys, and more excited that nobody's fighting yet. I haven't seen this guy come out. Maybe it's just too hot. I'll definitely be doing updates, everybody, and letting you know how these guys are doing. But for the most part, it's safe to say Lumpy is definitely out of the woods. He's recuperated. We just need to get him reacclimated to his buddies. And gosh, what a happy ending. Because so many times when tortoises get sick, a lot of times you really can't do much for them. We tried everything and it worked this time. And many times in the past here on the channel, I've tried and tried and tried, and unfortunately the animal is just too far gone to help. But this case, we saw it early, I noticed it early, and we got the right and aggressive procedure going. So he's back. So thrilled. And I want to thank everyone out there for all your well wishes. They really meant a lot. You guys were so caring and really just rooting me on for this, and I wanted to share this with you guys because it's your victory as well. We all did it together. Lumpy is back, people. So he will get stronger and stronger each and every day. I'll be on hand. I guess no news is good news when it comes to tortoise combat. So I'll be sure to keep you guys abreast of the situation. Follow me on Instagram at Kamp Kenan on Instagram for more videos of Lumpy and the other animals that I have here. And it'll be a really good way for you to see more updates on these guys and whether or not they're fighting and whatnot. But there he is, back in his domain, the king of the crib. Much to your chagrin, I'm sure. But you know what? These two tortoises have lived together since 2004. So there you have it, everybody. Another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the video, you enjoy learning about these amazing reptiles. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go on over to patreon.com where you can see more exclusive content that you can't find anyplace else about these animals here at my house and some of the animals I visit at my other people's, my pals, my friends, other reptile nuts like yourselves. We do a lot of fun things. So go on over to patreon.com/Kamp Kenan, and I'll see you guys soon. Got a lot more work to do here at the camp. So long.